Okay, let's go.
Hey everyone, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to go through some things that I'm learning along the way of starting my Pokemon card business. So my name's Stefan and I have a small TCG player store. I've sold about 23 different orders and very new, very naive, I guess you could say. And the hopes is to get enough residual profit from selling those items on TCG Player so I can turn around and put that back into starting a website, getting Japanese product, and selling on that website. So I've been making these YouTube videos to kind of document my journey, steps that I've taken, things that I've learned, all that kind of stuff, in hopes to maybe help my future self and maybe someone along the way. So first off, for product that I've been selling, so the product that I've been getting, you can call me a scalper, but I thought it wasn't going to be long term. I thought for me, when I first started buying like booster boxes, that kind of stuff, it was more like, hey, I'm going to hold on to this for a while and then turn around and sell it, which it's kind of funny. I don't think that's much different than a scalper. You're just kind of holding on to it in hopes to have it appreciate, you know what I mean? So I don't think that's really much different than buying it and then using the market price to turn around and sell it, but correct me if I'm wrong. So anyway, the plan was to hold it for 5 years, but I realized 5 years is a long time and I don't think that I can just put a bunch of money into some product and hold it for 5 years. I put money elsewhere, you know, financially with like the stock market and 401k and savings and that kind of stuff. And so I'm already putting a lot of money away in that sector of things. So I don't think I can put more money into Pokemon, but hey, I'm running a business, so that's where I'm putting my money now. But anyway, I was working through selling off some of my product. Like I had booster boxes, I've had the collection boxes from Costco, Sam's Club. And I don't think I was really doing much. I don't think I was really doing anything wrong with flipping those because I wasn't taking the full market price. If people were asking a little bit lower, I would accommodate that. So I don't think it was necessarily like I was taking full advantage of the market. But anyway, that's beside the point. So I've worked through all of my inventory and now I'm just on singles. Before, when I first started collecting, I opened a lot of product. And so I got a lot of singles around like opening booster packs, seal boxes, that kind of stuff. And so I've collected those over the course of about a couple years. And so I have them in a binder here. I've been kind of working through mostly sealed product because that's where most of the money I can make, and then go to singles and be able to sell them that way. So I've really tried to hold on to some of the cards that I wanted to keep in a personal collection, but there's really no need for that right now because I want to get enough money to where I can use that to buy product to sell on my website. So right now I'm currently going through my cards in my binder here and just some things that I wanted to keep long term, but it just doesn't seem that way. So I've got the Charmander from the Obsidian Flames ETB. Really wanted to hang on to that. I liked playing the games when I was younger, so the starters like Charmander, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur all have kind of a little bit of nostalgia to me. And so being able to like hold on to those, especially these cool full arts here, I think they're probably one of the best ones that you can get, other than maybe from a set or two that would be pretty comparable. But I think these are probably the best looking arts out of most of the sets. And then also when I was playing the games, I would always get in Fire Red and Leaf Green, I would always get the 3 birds, Articuno, Moltres, and Zapdos. And it was super fun catching those. So this card as well, the fact that it has all 3 of them in it is kind of like reminiscent about playing the game. So really don't want to sell these, but I think these are the next step to sell. So I'll attach my TCG Player link in the description here and you can go check those out. They're currently on my TCG Player store. But anyway, so I wanted to share with you some of my, I guess, what I paid for some of the product and then what I sold it for, to give you an idea of like the margin that I'm working with. Obviously I have to buy, and I've been documenting everything that I've purchased in terms of supplies, whether it be like bubble wrap, boxes, that kind of stuff. So just really trying to keep control of what I've spent and what I have available. And I'm currently up, I'll show you guys here in a second, but I'm currently up $324, and that's after, like I said, buying all the boxes and the supplies, also filing my LLC, and then also getting an EIN number. Those both cost money, so I do have some expenses there. So that's everything incorporated, and I have $324 left over, which is great. So that's just some extra money here. I actually have not put it in there, but you guys can see this little microphone here. Super excited about this. This is the DJI, gosh, what are they called? The mini microphone. Super excited about that. I just bought those recently, so I don't have to scream at the camera to get my voice across. I could just have this cool little microphone on my chest here. And so I'm gonna go ahead and show you some of the things that I purchased and sold and what I sold them for. And I'll bring it back up here and we'll chat some more. So, all right, so this is everything that I've sold over the course of the last couple months. And like I said, all this stuff I was planning on holding onto long term, but I didn't want to have to use any savings or anything like that to start my business, so I figured I'd just sell all this stuff off. So I do have a couple things here, like these Ascended Heroes booster bundle and a Ascended Heroes Pokemon Center ETB. I don't actually have those yet. Today is February 8th, so it actually has not released out of those products yet. So I'm just waiting on those. And the plan is just to turn around and sell them. Like I said, it's not going to be long-term. This is not going to be a long-term solution to fund my business. More so just give people an equal chance to get things at MSRP. That's the ultimate goal, but I feel like I could just kind of do this for a little while to kind of raise some money to do that. So I got ETBs. Let's just kind of pick out some things here. You got the Unova Heavy Hitters collection. They were about $45 a piece. And then I turned around and sold them for $326. And then you got a couple of them down here. Heavy Hitters bought for $45. They were worth quote unquote market price at $95. And then I sold at $85, so roughly a $40 profit there. And then this Black Bolt ETB, bought it at $54, sold it for sold it for $77. So you got about 20 bucks there. So various cards that I've kind of opened. I was lucky enough to pull a God Pack from Black Bolt. So I have the Black Bolt Zekrom here. Super sick card. I've already sold that. And I've sold off some of the other IRs that I pulled from that God Pack. And then I have just some things I bought, some cards I bought. So like this Charizard, the Sleepy Charizard from the Sword and Shield UPC. I bought it for 21. It valued at 28, sold it for 28. I made a couple bucks on that. We'll come down here. So these are all the things that I've opened to kind of go negative. So I spent about $437 on products I've opened. And Prismatic for sure gave me a bad taste in my mouth opening that product. And so here's everything I purchased with supplies. And then our shipping labels down here, 215 bucks I spent on shipping. So I've paid $3,662. I've sold $3,987. And then I have about a $324 positive balance left. So all this stuff here, I did use on my spreadsheet here. So I've been loading all the shipping I've been paying for. I've loaded that into a separate spreadsheet and then had it load into my main spreadsheet here. So yeah, I've loaded in that separate sheet from Pirate Ship's shipping labels, and then there's 15 bucks that I've spent on shipping. All right, now that you've seen my spreadsheet with everything that I've sold, so I have about $326 coming back to me, and I'm also using that money that I put into just buying the sealed product to buy more product from Japan. I've been currently working with, I've messaged 8 or 9 different suppliers in Japan, and like 3 of them have gotten back to me. One of them, the prices were a little bit more than I'd expect. And then the second one, same kind of situation. They were really close to where I needed them at. And then the third one is what I decided to work with. So I've opened a business account to where I can use the Wise payment service so I can pay the supplier from overseas. So we're waiting so today's Sunday, we're waiting for tomorrow so I can stop by the bank and finish getting that business account set up so I can set up the Wise account so we can do that transaction from Japan. And so I'll get that product with me or to me from the Japanese supplier. And then, so in terms of margins with Japanese product, so I was roughly looking at, so like Mega Dream, and I'm just giving you some rough numbers. I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head. So Mega Dream is probably probably like $61 or $62 a booster box. And so the market price here in the United States is roughly, I think, $91 or $92. So you have about a $30 difference. So when I was doing my calculations, I wanted roughly about anywhere from a 25 to a 30% margin to where I can work with, because unfortunately we live in the United States and Trump did that stupid tariff. So we have to pay 15% of all imported goods, and then 10% for a margin on my end. So I'd only really be making about $8 or $9 per booster box, and then hopefully more if the prices fluctuate. You know, I don't really want to, I'm not usually charging full market price, maybe a couple dollars left just to make my product a little bit more enticing than buying off a TCG player or at a card show or something like that. I have to have customers. So getting customers is a big thing. Gonna maybe vend at some card shows, that kind of thing, to really get my foot in the door and get some exposure with people to my website. So currently working on my website as well. I don't have anything to show you guys today, but I'm diligently working on it. Hopefully it'll be up in the next couple weeks. Which is nice about what I've been using for my website is Wix. And I thought Wix was pretty comparable with what you got feature-wise compared to the price, because a few other websites that I've looked at, website builders, they tend to charge pretty close around the monthly price that Wix charges. But Wix has a lot more features with like their reports and controlling inventory and card processing and stuff like that. So I chose Wix, paying a little bit more premium for the service, but you get more than what you pay for, I believe. So gonna have that up in a couple weeks, and then couple things that I've kind of like thought interesting. So for one, on TCG Player, there's been a couple instances where, so like today, I was about to ship out a card, and when I posted it originally, I feel like I'm getting a little bit better and better every single day from like looking at cards, being able to identify if they look good enough to ship out. And so I had this, I don't really know how to pronounce it, but anyway, this is from the White Flare set. And this card here, it had a raised edge that I missed on the left side of the card, and then also has a print line. So when I posted it on TCG Player as near mint, it's not near mint. So I contacted the buyer. I think he was really receptive to me contacting him first, saying, hey, I'm getting your order prepared, but I'm looking at the card and it's not really what I described on the website on TCG Player. So do you want me to still ship you the card? Because some people, I thought, I don't know, maybe they don't really care about if the card's slightly a lower condition than what you originally labeled it as. So like, hey, do you want it, still want the card? I can ship it to you and give you a partial refund, or you want to cancel it altogether? He said cancel it altogether, so that was pretty nice. New experience being able to communicate with the seller, or I'm sorry, the buyer. And then also we had an experience today when I was looking at a address to ship out a card to. The person's address, it has a state road, so SR dash whatever the number was. But if I put it into Pirate Ship, the shipping label service that I use, if I put it into Pirate Ship, it's not actually able to locate the address as they have written it. So I sent another email to the buyer asking, hey, this is the address you gave me, and then the address that we found that was pretty close was gonna be, yeah, like pretty close. I'm pretty sure it's the same address. It's just listed a little bit different than what we did. So just working through getting that website going. I'm gonna be vending in some shows here, upcoming shows, so maybe I'll have some POV vendor stuff from that. But anyway, things have been going pretty good, not too bad. So anyway, thanks for joining me. We'll talk to you soon.